Hi, I'm Adaline, and here's my interview on Gibson.com and Epiphone.com.
Here we are on the Gibson Guitar Tour Bus with Adaline, and we're going to have a little chat and talk about things that are going on, things that are happening. So welcome to the Gibson Guitar Tour Bus.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Alright, so you've talked about a lot, but last year Junos, April, Gibson Guitar, we hold fabulous parties.
Yes.
And so you came to the party. And I know there's been a lot of press about, what went on and what happened. Why don't we just talk about it? What did happen? What was it like?
Well, it was during the Junos, obviously, and it was an invite party. So generally the vibe was just a whole bunch of musicians getting together to celebrate the Junos, and so I showed up, and it was just kind of a crazy... there were lots of celebrities there, I guess you would say. I think Chad was there and a few other people, and I saw Robert Pattinson over there. He was there, so went over and said hi, and we had a little chat, and then that was pretty much it. And and the story is that that I tweeted that I had met him to a few people that I had just joined Twitter a few days before, and just sort of tweeted that I had met him at the party, and somehow that caught on the internet. People were looking for him that night, I suppose, and the next thing I knew, I had international attention because people found a link to my music online, and it was amazing exposure for me as an independent artist and as someone just kind of starting up, and it was so completely and totally unexpected and absolutely serendipitous and ridiculous. Yeah.
But also showing the power of social networking and,
yes.
and Twitter.
And Twitter, I know. I think I had just come back from South by, and everyone had been talking about Twitter and how it was the new thing. And so I kind of jumped on the bandwagon, and I think I had 5 or 6 followers when all of this went down. So it was definitely a timing thing. Definitely.
And the Gibson party, definitely invite only. I mean, we hold those parties every year. Celebrities like, Rob Patterson, it was great. He came and, we knew he was invited. But other people, like other musicians, it must have been, as an independent artist, incredibly cool to be walking around in this atmosphere with other artists. Like, who else did you see that night?
I'm trying to think. Well, a lot of the artists that played during Juno Fest, I was involved in that, and there were a lot of other people that were involved. We were all there. It definitely had more of a sort of like musician family feel. It's really nice to be able to be in a room where you're with all of the Canadian artists, because it's not a huge scene. It is in some capacity, but there were a lot of us there last night. I'm trying to think of what's a few of the different bands that were there that I saw, but it's definitely not an intimidating party. It's a very social atmosphere where it doesn't matter if you've sold 100,000 records or if you've sold 4. Everyone's kind of in the same spot.
And everybody's jamming, and B&L was up there with members of Headley and a mixture, a mix mash. So, as with your music, let's talk about your music. Like, you play piano.
Yes.
And what's been going on? So since then, what's been going on for you?
Well, I was doing a lot of things, obviously, before this whole internet thing happened. But since that, it has been nice. I've gotten a little bit more attention. I think that every artist needs a few of these moments in time to kind of raise their profile. But I've been playing a lot. I've been touring. I have a record out that I released almost 2 years ago. So I've been really working on that and sort of trying to get it out there. I've been playing lots of festivals, so the WCMAs, and I'm going to Toronto next month for CMW, and I'm going down South by again, and just and then I'm starting to work on a new record in June. So there's lots going on. It's just sort of like people are funny. They see these sorts of things and they think that because you've had this moment in time that you're instantly a star, when I think all of us in the music industry know that it takes a lot of time and energy, and all of these little press moments you have along the way, they build the story, but you have to move on past it and have new stories. So I'm working on my new stories now.
Now, influences. Who are some of the artists, singer-songwriters, bands vocalists that have influenced you coming along?
Yeah. I'm kind of a weird artist in the sense that I didn't really grow up listening to pop music. I grew up in a really sheltered musical environment, so I listened to a lot of classical music, musical theater. So it was really interesting when I got older and I started songwriting. I've been compared to people, but I don't really know their music. So that's been kind of a funny thing. Like I get Tori Amos. I don't think that I'm anywhere near the level of Tori Amos. I think she's pretty incredible. But I think I'm a very emotive player. I'm melodic. I really love the kind of music that when you listen to it, it just kind of hits you. And I like to use lots of different instrumentation like strings and horns and kind of create things that are really moving. And I think that's just from a classical background, like movements in different pieces of music. I think I kind of have that sort of feel in what I write as well.
And playing piano.
Mm-hmm.
How did you take formal piano lessons?
Yeah.
What was the age? What was that like learning to play piano?
Well, my dad is a piano player, so he kind of was that parental figure that forced me to keep playing when I didn't want to anymore, which happens with all children. And then I think I got to grade 8 Royal Conservatory, and I think that's when I really started to love it. I think up until then it was like practicing was horrible, just like most people feel. And then I think in grade 8 I started to really get to play pieces of music, like Beethoven and Chopin, like things that people know or pieces you've heard in movies. And that's when it started to get really exciting. So I ended up doing my grade 10 Royal Conservatory, and then I was going to start my ARCT, and it was like 6 hours of practicing a day, and I was in university, and I just sort of realized that I think I had gotten what I needed to from the formal training, and that's when I started to kind of write my own music. So unfortunately I can't play all of my classical pieces anymore. I've kind of lost my chops with that, but I definitely, like, the background is there, which is nice.
Upcoming, so we're at the Olympics.
Yes.
What's your Olympic experience been like, especially hometown?
I have mixed feelings about the Olympics. I kind of sit on both sides of the fence. I understand why people are frustrated with the money part of it, but I also am a patriotic person. Like, I think the spirit that's in the city is really exciting. I haven't really experienced, it hasn't really been like this here since the Junos last year. Like last year during the Junos, I remember thinking, this is a really fun place to be right now. And I think that that's kind of the general vibe right now in the city. And there's so much music, and the only thing that's hard about the music is it's just quite hard to get into a lot of these concerts because there's just so many people. But there's been a lot of really, really great shows and great venues, so I've been able to go out and check them out. And I was at the Gibson party last week, which was fun.
And you got what? No, you got to perform. What did you perform?
I did. Oh, well, this is what's funny. Like I said, I didn't grow up listening to pop music, so I was sent this list by the house band of songs I could choose from, and like I knew of the songs, but I didn't really know. So I just picked Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones. Didn't quite know how controversial the lyrics were until I was learning them. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I did Hey Jude by the Beatles. And so I just, all the artists that were involved, we all got to pick which songs we wanted to. So it was really fun. Just really relaxed, and they're obviously very talented musicians that play in the house band and can pick up anything. So it was like a nice energy. There were lots of other people playing.
Now, I have a trivia question.
Oh, no.
That I'm asking everybody.
I'm horrible with trivia.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
We're here in Vancouver. You know, the world is looking at Vancouver and Canada. Obviously, our national sport is hockey.
Yes. Is this a hockey question?
And
okay.
So, Olympic gold medal men's hockey.
Yes.
Olympic gold medal finals.
I know who they're playing today. That's good, right? Okay.
But who's going to be in the finals?
Who will it be?
Who will be, and what will be the final score?
It'll be U.S. and Canada.
Okay. And what do you think the score will be?
The score will be Canada will win, of course, by 1 goal in overtime. And I think the final score will be 3-2.
That is probably one of the most in-depth answers.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
My dad will be very proud.
There we go.
And my brother.
So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
We want everybody to watch for Adaline on Gibson.com and Fphone.com, and we want to talk to your kids sometime.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me on the bus.